Motorcycles. To some people, they're two-wheeled disaster machines. To others, they're the only reason to get out of bed in the morning. Ask a non-rider what they think, and you'll hear the same warnings on repeat. A lot of those facts are half true, outdated, or just flat wrong. Today, we're breaking down 7 myths you shouldn't believe about motorcycles. If you ride, this will help you see where you might be fooling yourself. If you don't ride, it might explain why your biker friend looks calm while everyone else is panicking about how dangerous it is. To see why these myths are so sticky, we need to start with the biggest one of all. Myth number 1. Motorcycles are just deadly no matter what you do. You've probably heard some version of this. Bikes are dangerous, end of story. No airbags, no metal cage, no crumple zones. Yes, motorcycles come with real risk. You are more exposed, you don't get second chances the way you might in a car, and the crash numbers do reflect that. But that doesn't mean the outcome is random. When researchers look at motorcycle crashes, they don't find a curse attached to 2 wheels. They find patterns. Riders who speed everywhere, ride tired or distracted, skip training, or dress like they're going to the beach instead of the road show up more in the bad statistics. Riders who take training, wear proper gear, stay alert, and ride like they're slightly invisible show up less. The risk never becomes zero, but it moves more than most people think. And once you realize that, the next myth starts to look very different. Myth number 2. Bad weather is what really gets you. Ask a non-rider about rain, and they'll look at you like you just suggested flying a paper airplane through a car wash. People imagine bikes sliding the moment one raindrop hits the road. The first few minutes of rain are sketchy because oil and dust rise to the surface and make things slick. But once that washes away, traction is better than people expect, especially with modern tires. The bigger problem in rain isn't the water itself, it's vision and judgment. Can you see? Can they see you? Are you leaving space, being smooth, and accepting that your stopping distance is longer? Rain punishes sudden moves and lazy habits, which is why it's a good teacher. Riders who practice in light rain at low speeds learn how the bike feels when it starts to squirm. That calm feeling carries over into dry riding too. But even riders who know this will still believe the next myth.
Myth number 3. Loud pipes save lives.
You've heard this one shouted from every chrome-covered meeting spot. Unfortunately, sound doesn't work the way that saying claims it does. Most of the exhaust noise shoots out the back of the bike, while the real danger is in front or beside you. By the time a driver hears you, they've probably already moved. What actually helps is being seen and being predictable. Bright gear, smart lane position, clear signals, and not lingering in blind spots give drivers a chance to notice you before they drift into your space. A calm but assertive road presence does more for your safety than a pipe that makes everyone jump at the gas station. And once you understand that attention is a limited resource, you can see the problem with the next myth.
Myth number 4. A bigger, faster bike is safer because you can get out of trouble. This one sounds smart at first. More power means more options, right? If someone drifts into your lane, you'll just twist the throttle and vanish. The reality is that trouble usually comes from rushing in too fast, not from being too slow to escape. Extra power also means you can launch yourself into bad situations much faster than your brain can process them. New riders who jump straight onto big machines often find themselves stiff and scared, using only a tiny part of what the bike can do. Or worse, grabbing a handful of throttle at the wrong time. A smaller or mid-size bike lets you learn real control, smooth braking, precise lines, correct vision. That skill, not raw horsepower, is what actually gets you out of tight spots. And once you start thinking in terms of skill instead of size, another popular myth starts to crumble. Myth number 5. Sometimes you just have to drop the bike. Almost every rider has heard a story like this. Someone says, "A car pulled out, I had no choice, I had to lay it down." It sounds heroic, like they sacrificed the bike to save themselves. But think about what laying it down really means. You're trading rubber and working brakes for metal and plastic sliding on the road. In most emergency situations, your best move is to stay upright, brake hard in a straight line, and aim for the biggest empty space you can find. That takes practice, and it's not as dramatic a story, but it's what gives you options. When riders drill emergency braking in a parking lot, they learn how fast a bike can slow down without falling over. Once you feel that for yourself, the idea of choosing to drop a rolling motorcycle starts to sound far less heroic. And if that surprises you, wait until you hear the next one. Myth number 6, experience alone keeps you safe. Every group has that one person who says, "I've been riding for decades, I know what I'm doing." Experience does matter. Time on the bike builds instinct, vision, and a sense for traffic that you can't get from a book. But years alone don't guarantee that those instincts are good. If you repeat the same habits for 20 years, what you really have is 1 year of riding repeated 20 times. What keeps long-term riders out of trouble is usually something else. They stay curious. They take advanced courses, they keep up with new techniques, they reflect on close calls instead of brushing them off. They set their ego aside long enough to adjust how they ride. That willingness to learn is why some riders with 5 years of focused practice feel sharper and safer than others with a dusty 20. And speaking of ego, we still haven't talked about the myth that lets a lot of people pretend they're protected when they're not.
Myth number 7. Safety gear doesn't matter at city speeds. You'll hear this from people riding in shorts to the shop around the corner. "Relax, it's just a quick ride," or "I'm only doing city speeds, I don't need all that gear." But the ground does not care how far you plan to go. Many spills happen close to home, at normal speeds, when someone wasn't expecting anything to go wrong. Even a slide at 30 or 40 can tear through regular clothing in a heartbeat. Good gear is not magic, but it changes the ending of the story. A proper helmet, gloves, jacket, pants, and boots turn a potentially life-changing crash into something you can walk away from more often. It also changes how you feel on the bike. When you know you've done your part to protect yourself, it's easier to ride relaxed and focused instead of tense and distracted. And that brings us to what all these myths have in common. In the end, most motorcycle myths exist for the same reason. They give people simple answers to a complex activity. Bikes are just deadly. Rain is the real enemy. Loud pipes will save you. Bigger is safer. You had to drop it. Time alone makes you good. Gear doesn't matter if you're close to home. Each one takes a slice of truth and stretches it until the picture is distorted. Motorcycles are not toys, and they're not unstoppable disaster machines either. They are simple, honest amplifiers. They amplify your focus, your discipline, your mistakes, and your preparation. Treat them with respect, build real skills, wear the gear, and question the easy stories people tell about riding. Do that, and the myths start to fall away, leaving something better in their place. A machine that demands the best of you, and in return, gives you some of the most vivid moments you'll ever experience on the road.